Hello, and welcome to your weekly Glow Up Recess. I am your host, Lauren Courtney, and I'm going to give everyone a minute or two to join in. So whether you're watching this live with me here or you are catching the recording later, do not worry. The energy is still here, the energy is still present, and the energy is still very real, and the messages are for you. So take what is here, leave what doesn't feel aligned, and simply let's have fun, let's play, and let's enjoy this moment in time together, because we're never going to get it back. That's right, we're never going to get this moment back. So thank you for sharing it with me. And truly, it's an honor and privilege to get to share the time with you. So today is an exciting day. It's Moon Day. It's Moon Day, Monday, ruled by the moon. It is Moon Day, and not only is it Moon Day, it is also the full moon eclipse in Libra. So eclipses, what that means when a full moon is in an eclipse, it means this moon has the potency of 3 full moons. That's right, 3 times the emotions. As someone who is a Cancer and is ruled by the moon, I get it. If you are feeling your feels, if you are in your emotions, if you had a weekend of just like, damn, like what is going on? That's that moon coming in. Luckily, this moon is in the sign of Libra, which is all about balance, karmic restoration, evening out the playing fields. So that is what we're experiencing right now with this moon. 3 times the energy, and that is what we're experiencing. So as we move through today and the next few days, and really the next 4 or so weeks that we're in this eclipse season, things are going to be heightened. Things are going to be amplified. There are going to be endings. With that, there will be beginnings. But pause. Before you get excited about the beginnings, let's harness the endings. Let's close the doors. And with that, create space. Because we need space. Did you ever meet someone that like is a relationship person, and they are in a relationship and they break up with the person, the next thing you know, they're in this new relationship? They haven't given the space, they haven't created the space to integrate the teachings and learnings of that first relationship or that experience, right? We all know someone like that. I definitely have some friends like that from high school. And I love them dearly, and that's their path and their journey. With that, my path and my journey is to integrate, to learn the lessons, to take the space, to be able to come into the next situation or relationship or whatever it may be with so much more knowledge and wisdom, because it's simply what I took the space to gain. So again, that's what this full moon is showing us. There are doors closing, there are chapters ending, and it's big stuff. There's some big stuff ending. There's some big karmic wounds around relationships, friendships, how you've shown up in life and in relationships, and what's coming up in this moment right now is fear in relationships. I shared a podcast episode on Saturday. If you haven't tuned into it, I highly recommend it. I talked about a core wound that I had from kindergarten that wanted to finally show itself to me, where I felt like I just wanted to fit in. I wanted to be the same as everyone. I didn't want to seem different, because kids can be mean and make fun of others, and adults can be mean and make fun of others too, right? So I moved through life kind of like holding myself a little tight, a little rigid, and not as free as I am, because I had fear of being different or fear of being made fun of. And I go into it much longer in the podcast, and it came full circle over the weekend as I've started to feel this full moon energy, because I decided to leave a WhatsApp group. That was like the catalyst, right? I decided to leave a WhatsApp group from a mastermind that I was in. At this point, like, gosh, like, it's been 4 years already. And I have so much love for my time in this mastermind, and even more so now that I can see what it brought up for me to heal, because I've had so much time and space. And what I've learned is I have no desire to fit in. I have no desire to have a leader outside of myself. Like, I am here to lead me, as are all of you. You are here to lead you. I am not your guru. I don't have all the answers for you. As I shared with someone who was messaging me this morning, I am happy to hold the reflection for you of what it is you already know. Whether you know it consciously or subconsciously, I am happy to be a mirror and reflection for the things you already know. Because that's what life is all about. Remembering who we are. Remembering our authentic self. Coming home to us. Coming home to us. Coming home to us. What's been coming up for me today is a fear of being made fun of humiliation. See, like I said, this is a collective core wound that is being cleared with this moon. If we so allow it, if we're so willing to say, like, hey, this is something that's coming up, and then look back, like, where did this begin? And let me tell you, it took a long time for me to remember where it began, because I didn't even know I was necessarily doing it. But I continued to see it coming up in different ways recently. I had friends that bought me a gift. I'm talking about also like almost 4 years ago, around the same time I was in this mastermind. And I remember, like, they did this because that's what they chose to do, right? And I remember thinking to myself, are they making fun of me? Am I being made fun of? Or was this because, like, they love me? And it never sat fully right. And something that came up for me, even as I was processing that about a week ago, was we get to meet people where they are. While I might have been having this like deep experience, and then they bought a gift about it, which was like funny and playful, to me it wasn't necessarily funny and playful. That's where they could meet me on the journey. So there are going to be people that can't meet you at your depths. Like I said, I'm a Cancer. I swim in really fucking deep waters. I always have. I've always been a deeply emotional, empathic human, because that's my soul, right? Like, so I've always been this way. And many of us are. Many of you watching this right now, many of you watching this back later are. So it's likely these wounds it's not necessarily about, like, did I carry this into this lifetime? Sure, of course. Like, we carried a ton of shit into this lifetime. And there are things that were the catalysts to having you feel you may be made fun of or humiliation. While I wasn't made fun of or humiliated in this experience when I was in kindergarten, I saw a boy make a song up about 3 girls in my class that wasn't nice. It wasn't a nice song. And that's who he was, right? And again, I'm not going to go fully into it because it's in the podcast episode. The link is in my bio for portals. But I remember this song to this day. To this day. This boy was making fun of one girl's size, another one's ethnicity. Like, it just wasn't nice. One's sexuality in kindergarten. And I remember it. And it left a core wound that I didn't want it to happen to me. So if I'm like everyone else, maybe he won't notice me. Maybe I won't get picked on. Now I'm like, fucking pick on me. Pick on me. Tell me how weird I am. Tell me all these things, because I don't give a shit. I'm a grown adult who can handle that. But when you're a kid, these things leave deep imprints. So now that I have the awareness of, why do I still remember that song? And what does that song mean? And what's coming up for me? I'm able to see the bigger picture. I can relate to making myself a joke to make others comfortable. But if always doing this, at what cost? The cost of self-esteem. Exactly. What is the cost of making the jokes about yourself so other people, I love when the thumbs up happens, making a joke of yourself so other people can't do it, or making yourself smaller so no one else can hurt you, right? So that is a big part of what is clearing with this moon, is this conversation about being fearful of being different, being fearful of being judged, making the joke about yourself first so no one else will hurt you. Because when we're in our truth, no one can hurt us. What's that saying? Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Yeah. How about more of fucking that? How about more of that? Words will never hurt me. The only words that can hurt me are the words that I tell myself. So I make sure my words are powerful. I make sure my words are positive. I make sure my words light me up and amplify my energy and who I am. And the words that anyone projects onto me, good or bad, it doesn't necessarily have an effect because I am in my truth. I was recording a podcast the other day. I was a guest on a podcast, and she was actually sharing, she's a member of the Glow Up, and she was sharing on the podcast how much the Glow Up experience has supported her, and it's helped her get back onto recording her podcast and get online doing live sound healings and all these things. And she was sharing her experience and how helpful it's been. And I was so honored. And that becomes an expectation. That becomes an expectation. If I'm going to hold space for you, if you're going to work with me, it's always going to be in the light of truth. And it's always going to carry the highest vibration. There will never be judgment because I am not here to fucking judge anyone. I am not here to judge anyone. I am not here to judge anyone. None of us are. And when we have that frequency within us of judgment, it's an opportunity to look at ourselves and realize, like, hey, I am so hard, not only on myself, but also others. And I need to let go of that judgment so I can find freedom for myself. Because it begins and it ends with ourself. It begins and it ends with ourself. It begins and it ends with ourself. Period. So this full moon is amplifying so much of that fear to really be your most authentic self. So with that, the scales are balancing. The scales are balancing. I know for myself and many of my clients, like, I used to live in one very distinct way. I used to party. I used to not be attuned and aligned to my energy. I didn't know what life was in the way that it is now, right? So I lived very masculine. It was like a very structured New Yorker. I did my work, I did this, blah, 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 blah. Went out for drinks, came home, repeat. And then I awakened and took a very different path, very feminine, very flowy. And the thing is, I needed to experience both of them. I needed to feel the scales tip from this direction to this direction. I needed to experience that so I could come into balance, so I could feel what neutrality feels like, so I could feel what freedom feels like, so I could feel what truth feels like. And that's what this moon is all about. This moon is all about finding that balance. Because there are coaches and people in this world that are going to tell you have to be in your feminine all the time. You have to be in your masculine all the time. No, we don't. We don't. We have to be able to be balanced, to play both roles, because there are going to be times. For me, I specifically date men, so I'll talk about it from my personal experience right now. I know that in relationship, because in my day-to-day work, I am more in a masculine. Even though I'm doing feminine work, I'm still running a business, doing these things. So in my relationships, I really like to step into the feminine. I like to be able to cook. I like to be able to nurture. That feels really good to me. I like to let go of things that like I don't need control of everything. So I need a man who can be strongly masculine in a relationship. With that, I also have the understanding that we are human and have experiences. And if and when a partner needs me to hold him down so he can feel his emotions, like, I got you. Like, I can ride this out through you because I know how to live in both sides. I know how to flip the switch on and off, and I know how to live in neutrality. So that's what this moon is allowing us to experience, is this neutrality. This moon is allowing us to experience this balance, this peace, this clearing of karma. For some of you, myself included, we've been on this journey a long motherfucking time. We have been on this journey a long time. And maybe you feel like you haven't gotten anywhere. I get that. I feel you. I honor you. And you have. You are not who you were when you started. You are not, I'm like looking at myself literally, right? I am not who I was when I started. Like, tell me, are you who you were when you started? And I guarantee the answer is no. Yes, amen, sister. Long time. We've been on it. We've been in it. We've been through it. Like, it's a wild ride. And for some of us, like, it's going to look different for each of us. When we find that freedom, when we find the neutrality, it's going to look different for each and every one of us. So some of you may be watching this live and you're like, fuck yeah, this is my moon. This is my motherfucking moon. And some of you might be watching this and you're like, oh, God, I just feel so stuck. I feel so trapped. And it's an opportunity to say, where do you feel stuck? Where do you feel trapped? And where can you make the shifts that you need to make in order to find that freedom? And if you don't know, join me in the weekly glow up. I am here to help and support you. I am here to help and support you. I can't make it any more clear. I'm here to help and support you. With that, we're going to have our own experiences. Some of you may watch this back live today. Some of you may catch this in a year or 2 years, and you may be in 2 years like, this is my motherfucking moon. And it is. Because here's the thing, this is energy. The world we're in right now, every day, the energy shifts. The moon cycles change every day. Every day, the moon is in another sign, and we have an opportunity to work with the energy. We have an opportunity to work with the energy every day. So this is the energy of balance. This is the energy of karmic restoration. This is the energy of, I am ready to live my best motherfucking life. That's what this energy is. I'm going to pull a few cards, not too many, just a few. Not too many, just a few. I don't know why I want to sing this to you. I was just setting up a mic check before this call. I've got some things that I'm thinking about, and yeah, I've never set up a mic yet for my podcast. Let's be clear, I still record my podcast straight onto my phone. I probably will continue doing that because I don't have a mic and laptop in my car when I get the download or walking down the street. So that's for something else. Stay tuned. In the meantime, let's see what chakras we can focus. You guys, I love this message here today. First card out, root chakra, abundance. I was thinking last night, this is so funny. I was thinking last night, should I say it or should I do it? Say it. I'm going to just say it. And then I'm going to like see what I can do with it. So I was thinking as I was like getting in the shower, because that's like the best download, abundance. Like, the second part of abundance is dance. The second part of abundance is dance. I'm about to like really age myself here, but if any of you have seen Family Matters with Steve Urkel, there was a song he sang, like, do the Urkel dance, do the Urkel dance. Now everybody pull up your pants and do the Urkel, do the Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. But anyway, that song popped into my head and I was like, do the abundance dance, and I like this like whole thing started playing in my mind, and then I like went into a dance party about abundance, and this is where you can catch the real me. So the energy of abundance is present with this moon again as we are restoring. Yes, I love that you know the reference. Thank you. As we restore and find this balance, the abundance can come in, because we can't be all the way in this energy and like tapped out here, and we can't be all the way here and tapped out here. We've got to find the here, so we're healthy in our root, even so the things can come in, because God wants us to feel regulated. Our system, our nervous systems need to be regulated for us to truly receive all that is for us. It's not that we can't receive. I want to be clear, it's not that we can't receive. We can. And when we have our root chakra balanced, healthy, when we are even, balanced, healthy, neutral, the things that we bring in can stay. The things that we bring in can stay. Because what happens is if we're not balanced and this all just came in, it's like, whoop, I'm a little nervous, and it leaves. And that will look different for everyone. I know for quite a few clients of mine, and I've gone through this in the past also. Oh, love this, life purpose, it's here, it's knocking. I know that something that came up for me is like, oh my God, I brought in all this money, my business is doing great. I still had some root chakra things to deal with at that time. So I was also still putting out just as much as I was bringing in, because there was some level of I feel unsafe in my body. Where that came from will be different for everyone, right? But for me, I felt unsafe. And I can go back and I can look at, right, my parents' relationship with money, my grandparents' relationship with money, the things that I heard about money at a young age, how my family still talks about money, the conversations I have with friends around money, right? There's all these different things that we can look at. And also, I want to say, like, abundance doesn't only mean money. Like abundance, an abundance of good health, an abundance of love, an abundance of joy and family, right? So I love that we've got these two root chakra cards. We've got the life purpose, and underneath that is holistic health. So this is very much telling us, like, as the root, the foundation is healthy and happy, we can truly step into the life purpose, and we can also experience peace, because we are here to experience peace. And this full moon is bringing us a lot of that. In addition, our ability to communicate is strong. When we're around full moons, it's the veil is very thin. So you may find that your loved ones are wanting to connect with you or wanting to come through in different ways. Create the space for that. Your angels, guides, and loved ones have messages for you. This is not the deck that I thought it was. It's not the one I want, and I'm going to trust that because it doesn't feel aligned. As soon as I opened it, there is the one I wanted. Did I put the one I wanted away? Nope, here it is. Here it is. Okay, for those of you that are just joining, I am going to leave this live, of course, on my feed, so you'll tune into it later, and you won't miss any of the juicy messages that have been delivered or that beautiful song and dance was no dance, there was song. Okay, we've got 2 cards here. The first one is the 6 of Earth. Your success and prosperity have allowed you to pay off debts, acquire wise loans, or receive a grant or scholarship. In return for these blessings, be sure to share the wealth with others through donations of your time or money to reputable charities. So again, like, what you're receiving is for a very good reason. And it's because you have safe, there's this saying I use a lot, you have safe hands to hold money. You have safe hands to hold money. You have safe hands to hold money. It wouldn't be showing up if you didn't have safe hands and weren't going to do right. Not right by like what others say, but right by your truth. Right by your truth. Right by your knowing. Because people have a lot to say. People have a lot to say. People have a lot to say, and people will fucking judge you. And people will judge you when you rise. Like, oh, you were ignoring me for all this fucking time, but now that you see my fucking rise, now you want to get in here? No, I'm good. I've got my truth, and I know what I'm here to do. And as long as you stay focused on that, that's your jumping point. Like, that's where it all begins, the foundation. We've got the Page of Pentacles here. I love that there's a butterfly that is totally a message for me. 2 butterflies, not just one, but we've got 2. The Monarch Butterfly, the Page of Fire. Creative opportunities that you feel passionate about are fluttering your way. Personal growth and broadened horizons will spark fresh and original ideas. Okay. They'll spark fresh and original ideas. So again, as this karmic energy is being worked out, as the scales are balancing with this full moon, I love that this like light is just like shining over me like a full moon. I finally I've surrendered to it, and I'm not even gonna try to block it. Like this is the sun and moon energy wanting to come in. So this is showing us like an outpouring of energetic, creative energy. I took the weekend off. I took the weekend off. I don't really even know what that means, but I took the weekend off. And actually what it means is like, I didn't want to fucking see anyone. I didn't hang out with anyone. I didn't really talk to anyone. I focused on myself. I went to the ocean. I laid on the sand. I went to this tree that I really like to sit on. And I created not just a vision board, but an entire wall in my bathroom because I really needed space. I needed to give myself space, and what came through was this entire wall of visions. And I felt so good when I woke up this morning knowing that I took the time and space, because then even I was able to set up my mic. I couldn't set it up when I tried to on Friday or Saturday of last week because I needed to purge a bit more, which again I talked about in the podcast episode that I mentioned earlier. And as I did, I was able to put this crown on. So we've also got the 3 of Fire here. And this feels really specific for some of you. So again, take what feels aligned, and you can also come back to this. Like, these recordings will hit you when they're supposed to hit you. These recordings will hit you when they're supposed to hit you. And it's not that anything's right or wrong. It's simply like where you're at right now, and knowing that for yourself, knowing your truth and honoring where you're at. The sea turtle says, stop and take time to review and make long-term plans, capitalizing upon your past successes. So your past successes matter just as much as the success you're finding now and will continue to find. So past, present, and future success continues to build. So don't ever feel like what I did before didn't matter. Because I can tell you this, like, there were times I also use other healing modalities also. So that is a huge success, and one that I've been able to bring into my present life, cooking on retreats now. So capitalize upon your pausing. Sorry, my video keeps pausing from the connection, so hopefully you guys are hearing me. But, Veruca wanted that golden goose. She wanted that golden egg, and she wanted it now. And we all know what happened, right? We've all seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I don't need to, replay the plot. But, right? So if we wait sometimes, if we simply wait, so much more can be revealed. We need to wait for certain doors to open, because here's the thing, right? For example, when it comes to the book I'm working on, it's going to align when different pieces align. It's not only about me, because this book, while it is to heal me, and it is so deeply profound to me, I've been getting those upgrades as I've been writing it. So now it's like, when is that moment that it is meant to be shared with the world? When is that moment? And can I rush it? Yeah, of course I can. Or can I just lean back knowing that it will come out exactly when it's meant to, how it's meant to, for the people it is meant for? Okay, one more. We've got the moon card. On this full moon, we've got the full moon, the links. It's important to trust your intuition, even if you're unsure of what's happening. All will be revealed soon, so worry is unnecessary. You guys, this is simply confirming exactly what I said, and I'm sharing about my book because that's my personal experience right now. And I'm a 3-5 in human design. I'm here to talk from my experiences and share through my experiences. So I want you to see how this can relate to you. Is there something you've been working on or feeling like, how do I move forward? And maybe all you need to do is trust and wait and follow your intuition instead of trying to force. And I love that we have got the sun right here as well. The sun is reminding us, the bluebird is out singing. Your plans will work out well, bringing you happiness, prosperity, and success. You'll garner the recognition for your accomplishments you so richly deserve. So can you believe that? Can you believe that it is all working out? It's always been working out. You are so taken care of and supported. And all you need to do right now is trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. I'm wanting to say, trust your intuition, baby. I never really call anyone baby, so that's definitely something coming through for someone. So if that relates to you, please recognize it. But trust your intuition, baby. You got this. I'm realizing that is actually one of my my friends coming through. It's totally my friend Jeff coming through to remind me, trust your intuition, baby. And he's reminding all of us. Trust your intuition. You've got this. You've got this. You're so welcome. I'm going to pull one last card. These are so funny to be getting emotional about, because I know it's my grandmother coming through. Oh my God, Grandma, I love you so much. So my grandmother used to say, she had this specific thing she would, I haven't even recorded it. It's my first TikTok video ever. And it was my grandmother talking about, my grandfather had already passed away, and she said, it was so funny. She's like, I never got wild. So you hear the kids, they go wild these days. I never got to go wild. Your grandfather, he just wasn't wild. That's my grandma voice. My mom would tell me it's super off, but that was my grandma. Anyway, the card that I just picked was Go Wild. Oh, my dad, Val, he would say, yes, baby. I love that. Beautiful, beautiful. Go wild. Go wild. Everything in moderation, even moderation. You just gotta go nuts sometimes. Rules are only beneficial when they serve the greater good. Have you been towing the line like a good girl and blindly following the lead of others? Only you know what is best for you. Time to take stock, kick up some dust, and pave your own pleasure path. Invoke the courage to lose control. Your inner goddess will thank you. What does your inner wild child desire right now? So I am going to leave it with that final message here today for this full moon. If you want to spend more time with me, we have an 8 p.m. weekly glow up call happening tonight, and the doors are currently open to enroll. You can send me a DM. I'd be happy to make sure that you are enrolled today so you can get on that call this evening. If you were part of the community experience, check your inbox in about 20 or so minutes and you will have an invite as well to join. And that's it. That's all from me today. I love you all so much. Again, the weekly glow up is where you can join me in a group setting. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I will be taking on 2 new clients starting in April. So if you feel called, send me a message. You are so welcome. Send me a message and we'll make sure that you're the right fit for me and I'm the right fit for you. And if I'm not, I will happily recommend someone else that might be a good fit. And check out my recent episode of Portals. If you enjoy my podcast, please give it a rating, give it all the stars, leave comments. I love seeing them and I love hearing from all of you. Like I truly do. I can only show up to the level that you each allow me to show up. Sag energy, go and be free. Yes. Nice to see you in your gifts. Wishing you well. Hey Danny, so nice to see you. Thank you for joining. I love you all so much. Thank you for being a part of my day, my experience, and my journey here in this earth cycle. We are here in this beautiful school together, and I can't wait to spend more time with you. I love you all. Have a beautiful, beautiful full moon eclipse moon day.